My name is Travis. Until about a week ago, I was part of a gang, an organization where I was feared as a legendary member. But now that I've turned 40, I decided it was time to stop messing around and return to my hometown to take care of my aging parents. Although I let my parents know I'd be coming back, I didn't tell them exactly when. They're going to be surprised for sure. Thinking about that, I waited for the rural bus I used to ride often as a kid. It's an hour by bus from here. We'd never see something like that in the city. Breathing in the fresh air, I boarded the approaching bus. Inside, there was a mother with a child and an elderly woman. This is a typical small town with a sparse population. After a while, the bus stopped and a man got on. Before the bus could even start moving, he pulled a beer can out of a plastic bag, popped it open, and started drinking. In no time, several cans were empty, and his body began swaying along with the motion of the bus. A child's voice broke the silence. "Why does that man drinking so much on the bus?" "Shh, don't point at people," the mother said, seemingly wary of provoking the man, and hushed her child. However, their exchange was loud enough for the man to hear. "Mom, you said we shouldn't eat snacks or drink juice on the bus, right? So why is that man drinking and eating snacks too?" "He is. Special." "But why is it okay for him? You always say it's not allowed." "Well, he probably has his reasons." "What reasons?" the child persisted. The mother, clearly raising her child well and teaching proper manners, was now at a loss for words. For a child who has been taught the rules and follows them, it must be confusing to see an adult breaking them and getting away with it. As the mother struggled to find an answer, the man stood up and walked over to the kid. "Hey kid, you've been noisy for a while now. I'm sorry. And you," the man pointed at the mother, "if you're going to teach your kid not to eat or drink on the bus, you should teach them to keep quiet too. You're annoying everyone here. I'm sorry." The man shouted angrily at the shrinking mother. Even while shouting, he kept a firm grip on his beer can, which was impressive in its own way. "Honestly, you're raising your kid all wrong. Sure, don't eat or drink on the bus. That's your rule for your family. But I've got my own rules. Don't try to impose your stuff on me. That kind of misguided parenting is what makes life harder for everyone, you know." What an absurd argument. Drinking and eating strongly scented items on a bus could easily make others feel sick. The mother, seemingly unable to argue, simply kept apologizing. Well, she wouldn't be able to say anything, I thought, just as the elderly woman spoke up. "You there. Do you even understand that this bus is for everyone? Eating and drinking such strongly scented stuff here can make people nauseous. That's why you're not supposed to eat or drink on buses or trains. Didn't your parents teach you that? What did you just say? Do you really need a little kid to teach you some common sense?" Just then, the driver slammed on the brakes. Apologies. A raccoon crossed in front of the bus, so I had to brake suddenly. Is everyone all right? Since I, the old lady, and the mother and child were all seated, none of us had any issues. Unfortunately for the man, he toppled over spectacularly and spilled beer all over his pants. It looked exactly like he had wet himself. Damn it. Cold as hell. What's this about a raccoon? You should have just run it over. Because of your stupid brakes, my pants are soaked. Please remain seated for your safety. Safety, my ass. If it's so dangerous, you wouldn't slam on the brakes, would you? I'm sorry, but even a raccoon's life is still a life. And what the hell does that matter? You could have just run the damn thing over. We'll be departing now, so please take a seat. The driver didn't seem to care much about the man's complaints, but the man had other ideas. When the driver turned around, he happened to see her face. It was a face so strikingly beautiful that it seemed impossible for someone like that to exist in such a remote area. I couldn't fathom why someone so gorgeous would be working as a bus driver in a place like this. Hey, lady driver. You're one hell of a looker, aren't you? Thank you. Please take a seat for your safety. You never know what might happen. Yeah, well, nothing would have happened if you hadn't slammed on the brakes. There are times I have to break, so please stay seated. Why are you even doing a job like this? Hey, I'm talking to you, so answer me. I'm sorry, but I'm on duty right now, so I must decline any conversations. Come on, don't be like that. You're just driving. How hard can it be? I'm responsible for everyone's safety. If I get distracted, it could be dangerous, so please don't talk to me. You're way too uptight. How are you supposed to keep your customers happy like that? I'm sure they don't have a beautiful driver on board with the intention of pleasing customers, I thought. Talking to the driver could distract her. What a nuisance this guy is. Then, once again, the old lady spoke up. Hey, you there. Talking to the driver might distract her and cause an accident, so leave her alone, will you? Besides, standing there with that beer could make someone feel like they're drunk driving, even just from the smell. Drunk driving? How could that happen when I'm not the one driving, old hag? Don't talk nonsense. Some people can get dizzy just from the smell. Move away from there. I like this driver, old hag, so no, I'm staying right here. It's a miracle to see someone this beautiful in a town like this. A once-in-a-century event, I tell you. No way I'm letting this chance slip by. No matter how rare, you're getting in the way of her driving. Now move. Shut it, old hag. I hate being told what to do. Don't push your luck with me. If you don't like it, then get out of the way. Mom, why won't that man listen? He doesn't obey the driver or the old lady. He's a bad guy. Yes, he is, but let's just stay quiet, okay? What a noisy brat. Hey kid, shut your mouth. Adults have their own reasons for things. Keep quiet, or I'll shut you up myself. Sir, please refrain from threatening other passengers. Oh, so you'll keep me company instead, huh? With that, the man reached out and placed a hand on the driver's shoulder. If his hand slipped, or if she startled, she might lose control of the vehicle. The man sneered, a disgusting grin spreading across his face, just as the driver let out a sharp cry. Help! Someone stop him. The driver was unable to act, and the gang-like man was clearly escalating. Whatever he was planning, this couldn't end well. If nothing was done, an accident was inevitable. But the mother and old lady were both women. If anyone was going to stop that man, it had to be me. I stood up and called out to the child's mother, "Get the AED ready." The bus had an AED on board. Though I'd never used one before, if it came down to it, I had no idea how to operate it. Still, the guy had brought this on himself, so as long as I did my part, it wouldn't be my problem. I walked up to the driver's seat and grabbed the man by the shoulder. Hey, you need to knock it off. Ha! What did you just say to me? Do you not get how dangerous this is? Acting like this here is reckless. Dangerous? What the hell are you talking about? His breath reeked of alcohol, making me want to turn my head away. Man, with your booze breath, you're torturing the driver. Don't you think that's way too much? Booze breath? You're so annoying. Stay out of my business. I wouldn't be saying anything if I could ignore this. But if you keep this up, we'll all be goners because of you. Driver, can you pull over somewhere safe? Oh, sure. The driver pulled over to the shoulder, where the landscape was nothing but rice paddies. The sight brought back childhood memories, but now wasn't the time for nostalgia. Once the bus stopped and the door opened, I told the man to get off. Of course, he refused. Why the hell should I get off here? This isn't my stop. If you want to get off, do it yourself. That's not how this works. If you don't get off, there was no point in stopping the bus. I'm not getting off. If you really won't get off, then sit down and stay quiet. No more drinking or eating that stinky crap. Stinky. You've been going on and on about stinky. Shut the hell up. It's stinky, so I'll call it stinky. If it weren't, I wouldn't say anything. And you sticking yourself to the driver is making everyone anxious. If you want to go to the other side, go by yourself. Who said I want to die? You're acting like it, distracting the driver and pulling this crap. If you weren't looking for trouble, you wouldn't do this. Or do you just not understand danger? Even a little kid gets it. Are you mocking me, punk? Mocking you? I'm just telling the truth. If you've got a problem with that, then get off the bus. Oh, so you want to fight me, Fine by me. Nobody's ever beaten me, you idiot. Yeah, now get off. I grabbed the man and threw him out of the bus. The rough-looking man, thrown out, stumbled on his shaky legs, missed a step, and fell onto the gravel road. He came dangerously close to falling into the rice field, but managed to avoid it just in time. Good thing you didn't fall into the rice field. The rice doesn't deserve that. Would have been a shame. Damn it, that hurt. What the hell is your problem? You're the one who fell, idiot. I followed him off the bus, grabbed him by the collar, and dragged him toward the back of the vehicle. Let go of me. I'll let go soon enough. I don't want to touch someone as filthy as you any longer than I have to. What did you just say? Listen up. Just because there's a beautiful driver on this rural bus doesn't mean you can mess with her. Do you not get how distracting you are? She should be thankful I talked to her. Are you stupid? Nobody appreciates being harassed. Would you thank a cop for falsely accusing you and tossing you in jail just because they talked to you? That's completely different. It's exactly the same. And let me remind you, a bus is a confined space. Eating and drinking smelly stuff can make people sick. If you can't understand that, don't get on the bus. What? I'll do whatever I want. Didn't anyone ever teach you basic manners? Even if you didn't study, your parents would have taught you anyway. Or were you raised by wolves in the mountains? Of course not. Then use your common sense. Even a kid understands it. You're so damn annoying. You want me to punch you. That's my line. I'm a member of the Henderson family, and you're thinking of picking a fight with me? You've got guts. I'll give you that. Cut the tough talk. Acting high and mighty because you're a gang. That doesn't mean a thing. Shut up. Do you want to find out what happens when a civilian picks a fight with a gang? Too bad for you. I might be a civilian now, but up until just recently, I was gang too. And not just any gang. I was so feared that anyone who didn't know my name was considered a rookie. They called me a legendary gang. If you're thinking about stepping to me, even if you're weaker than a fly, I won't go easy on you. What the hell are you talking about? Big talk for a former gang. I'm an active member. With that, the man swung a punch at me. All the passengers had gathered at the back of the bus, watching through the windows. When the man suddenly lunged at me, they screamed in shock. But there was no way I'd go down so easily. I dodged his punch, landed a heavy blow on him, and followed up with a swift kick. As he staggered, the man toppled onto the gravel. As he lay there, I stomped on his stomach, eliciting a croaking sound like a frog. Nobody can beat you, huh? Too bad for you. Even if there's no one in this rural town to take you down, I'm from the city. And back in the city, there wasn't a soul who could stand up to me. I'm sorry. Do you get it now? Can you behave yourself on the bus? If you're itching for a fight, go pick one with another gang. Yes, sir. All right, I'll let you back on the bus, but if you act up again, I'll personally throw you into the rice field. Or maybe you'd prefer some help from the AED, not that I know how to use it. So if you die gasping for air, don't expect anyone to save you. Understood. I'll behave. The man repeated his apologies and quietly sat down. I sat beside him, making sure he wouldn't do anything stupid. But his stop was far beyond mine. I'm getting off soon. If I hear about you causing trouble after I leave, I won't forgive you. Yes, of course. For the record, what's your name? I'm James. James from the Henderson family. Got it. I'll remember that. Hey, what about this? I turned to see the child holding the AED. Oh, thanks. Looks like we didn't need it. Could you put it back where it belongs? Mom, he says we don't need it. The mother nodded, bowed slightly, and returned the AED to its place. The bus resumed its journey without incident. When it reached my stop, I gave the man one final warning. He lowered his head in embarrassment. The next day, I was enjoying a leisurely breakfast prepared by my mom, sipping tea for the first time in ages. As I glanced at the local newspaper, a large headline caught my eye. Bus accident. A bus accident. Reading further, I realized it was the same bus I had ridden yesterday. What the hell happened? The article explained that the accident occurred after I got off. The driver had lost control and crashed into a guardrail. The passengers were thrown from their seats, and the driver sustained serious injuries and was now hospitalized. The first thing that came to my mind was the gang from yesterday. I decided to visit the hospital to check on the driver and get some answers. The hospital room was a shared space with a few other patients, but she was hiding behind a curtain, clearly shaken. "Hey, it's me from yesterday. Oh, you remember me?" "Yes." Her voice trembled, and every time she heard footsteps beyond the curtain, her face grew tense with fear. "What's wrong? Why are you so scared?" "I'm scared that man from yesterday might come back. Ever since the accident, I've been terrified." "What do you mean? What exactly happened to lead to this?" She looked down, hesitating to decide whether she should tell me. "If you tell me what happened, I'll do everything I can to help you overcome your fear." "I think I can handle it. Thank you. Actually, after you got off yesterday, that man started making a scene, and the bus was in chaos. Somehow, I kept driving, but when we got to the stop where the elderly lady was getting off, I stood up to help her. That's when he jumped into the driver's seat and sped off. He crashed straight into the guardrail. None of us expected something like that, so we weren't braced for it. That child was thrown out of their seat. The elderly woman fell while standing and hurt her back, and I suffered a fracture myself. That man came up to me afterward, not to help, but to threaten me. He said if I told anyone about what happened, he'd come back to kill me. Ever since then, I've been scared he might come for me." "So you told someone about the culprit, didn't you?" "I had to report what happened to the company, so yes, I did." "I see. That's how it is. Huh. Do you think he'll really come?" "What should I do if he does?" The sheer audacity of causing such a deliberate accident and fleeing afterward filled me with nothing but rage. "Don't worry. If it comes to that, I'll handle it. In a quiet town like this, someone like him has no place. I'll make sure he's dealt with. Thank you so much. Please, I'm counting on you." With those words, she bowed her head to me. As soon as I left the hospital, I headed straight for the office of the Henderson family that man belonged to. The place was as expected for a rural office, an old traditional house turned into a makeshift headquarters. Well, nice setup. But knowing that guy's here makes it unforgivable. I stood at the open entrance and shouted loudly, "Is Mr. Henderson here?" After yelling several times, a young member came out. When I demanded to see Mr. Henderson, he himself emerged from the back. "Who are you? I don't recognize you." "Yeah, I figured. I'm Travis." "And what are you here for?" "You heard about the bus accident yesterday." "Of course. I'm here to talk about that." "I'm not sure what you mean, but come on in." I was allowed inside and guided to a room with a sofa. While Mr. Henderson seemed welcoming, his subordinates were clearly tense, wondering what I was going to do. "All right, so what's this about? Do you have a guy named James here?" "Yeah, James is one of ours. He's the one responsible for that accident." "What do you mean?" I explained everything that had happened the previous day in full detail. I thought that once the boss understood what his man had done, he'd take appropriate action to discipline him. But it seemed I was far too optimistic. "Oh, and what of it?" "What?" "I've got to hand it to you for barging into our turf, but as far as I'm concerned, I couldn't care less about what you're saying. Some civilian accused my guy of what? So in this town, gangs don't think twice about hurting civilians. Of course, it's not ideal for us to mess with regular people, but so what? This doesn't tarnish our name in any way. Why should I bother listening to this story and get all worked up over it? At the end of the day, it was just one guy acting on his own. What? That accident caused serious injuries to innocent people. Yeah, and that's no big deal to us. So that's how your group operates. Huh. That's right. There's nothing to worry about on our end. I see I really misunderstood, didn't I? I didn't think a small-town gang like you would be so bold. Seems like you're the one misunderstanding something. This is a gang office. You think you can just waltz in here and demand an apology for something one of my guys did. That's not going to happen. Got it. That makes things crystal clear. In that case, I guess there's no choice but to take down your group. Huh. What the hell are you saying? A regular guy like you thinks he can take us down? Yeah, an ordinary civilian wouldn't stand a chance. But I'm no ordinary guy. I'm an ex-gang member, and not just any ex-gang. I was part of the Kennedy family, one of the most powerful in the city. Taking down a small-time operation like yours? That's nothing. The leader of the Kennedys. That's right, the legendary gang from Kennedy. Finally realizing who I was, Mr. Henderson stood up from the sofa and immediately bowed his head. I can't believe it's Travis from the Kennedys. My sincerest apologies. I've been terribly rude. So now you get it. Yes, I understand completely. If it's you, taking down our family would be child's play. So please, I beg you, spare the Henderson family. There are a lot of members who would be left in ruins if we were destroyed. Yeah, I figured. So how are you going to make this right? Hey, call James. Tell him to get here immediately. At the boss's command, a young man scrambled to make the call. James arrived quickly, but when he saw me sitting on the sofa, his face turned pale with shock. James, what exactly did you do in that bus accident yesterday? I didn't do anything. Travis here knows everything about what you did. However, James seemed convinced that I had no idea what happened after I left. So he spewed nothing but convenient lies. Knowing the truth, I approached James, grabbed his hand, and faced him directly. James, if you don't tell the truth, this hand of yours might not work anymore. Ow, ow. What are you doing? I'm telling you to speak the truth. If you keep lying, this hand is going to bend in ways it was never meant to. All right, fine. Nothing much happened after you got off. The only thing was that the pretty driver suddenly veered the bus and crashed into the guardrail. Is that so? Oh, stop it. I told you what would happen if you lied, didn't I? Okay. It was me. After you got off, that pretty driver wouldn't listen to me. So when she stepped away from the driver's seat, I took over and drove it into the guardrail. Thanks for finally telling the truth. You could have avoided the pain if you'd been honest from the start. I can't believe this. Did you really do something so stupid? I'm sorry. Not only is what you did unforgivable, but lying to me, your boss, right to my face, that's just as bad. Now that we got the truth, it's time to pay for the damages. You'll cover the compensation for the driver and the passengers, along with the repair costs for the bus. Wait, what? Compensation. $100,000 per person. That's 4 people, so $400,000. $100,000 each. That's insane. Plus $600,000 for the bus repairs. That's a total of $1 million. What? You've got a problem with that. That's just impossible. Oh, is that so? How about we make it $2 million instead? No complaints. But how soon do you expect me to pay that? There's no way I have that kind of money right now. I'm not giving you a second chance. Whether you've got the money or not is no longer my concern. You can't be serious. A small-town gang family like us doesn't have that kind of cash lying around. Is that so? Then I guess there's only one option left. You'll have to pay with your life. My life? Mr. Henderson, please loan me the $1 million. This guy is serious about coming after me. What makes you think we've got that kind of money? No matter how much you hustle, there's no way we can pull together that kind of cash on short notice. Travis, please. I'll work to pay it off. Just don't take my life. I'm begging you. You think I have the patience for that? I'm known for my short temper. If you can't pay now, I've got a loan shark I can introduce you to. He'll front you the $1 million immediately. A loan shark? Serious? Yeah, big city gangs go to him whenever they need quick cash. Are you serious? Fine, please introduce me to him. All right then, I'll set it up for you. I pulled out my phone and called the loan shark, explaining the situation and requesting the $1 million loan. The loan shark promised immediate funds and arranged to take James off my hands. After withdrawing the money, I headed to the hospital.